Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal. I am the owner of Moxie Fika Design Co. Today I'm going to show you how to create a template in Affinity Designer for any odd shaped substrate. So I have already done the step of taking my substrate, which I'm going to use a dog name tag today. And the first thing you want to do is trace it on a piece of paper and then scan it into your computer. Once you have done so, you will open up a new document in Affinity Designer. And you want to use a letter size piece of paper or the same size as that you used to trace on. And then you're going to just drop it into there. The page should be the same size, 8.5 by 11, to make sure that the size of your substrate is accurate. And then I'm going to zoom in quite a bit here. Then you're going to grab your pen tool. And I like to change the color to red or something that I can see easily. Let's see, there we go. All right, so I'm just going to pick a spot to start. I'm going to start putting my nodes in all the way around, trying to stay within the center of the line. If you go outside a little bit, that's okay. We can fix it. And I'm going to increase the stroke a little bit so I can see it easily. About the same width as my trace is. Then we're going to grab our node tool and zoom in even closer. So now we're just going to start aligning all of our lines here. And I just try to get it as close as possible. All right. If you need to move a node just a tiny bit, you can use your arrow keys too. Sometimes that helps if you just need a very tiny movement. And then for this little part in the inside, I'm just going to use a circle. Oops. Don't want a fill. It's just to give me an idea where it's at. When I create the design, I'm going to have it fill in that whole space, but I just like to know where it is. Okay. So we have the outline of our actual substrate. So I'm going to rename this one actual. And then what I'm going to do is duplicate it, which you can do by going to, I obviously don't do it this way very often. What am I doing? you can right click on it and hit duplicate. I just, on a PC, I do Control J, and it just is going to duplicate it for me. Now what I'm going to do is lock my aspect ratio, and I'm going to change it by about a tenth. We'll do 1.5 inches. So I'm going to adjust the width up to 1.7. And then, oops, not 17, 1.7. And with the aspect ratio locked, it will. And then this one I'm going to change to a different color. And I'm going to align myself centered and centered. I do have my snapping guides on, so it's going to do that for me. And it looks like I'm actually going to go, oops, a little bit bigger. Now, when you do this, you're going to have to adjust the nodes again on this next line. So I'm just going to grab my node tool again, zoom way in here, and start adjusting where necessary. Just want enough of an edge to give you that bleed edge, so when you're creating your design, you know that it's going to cover your whole entire substrate. Does not have to be absolutely perfect, just close. Same thing, you're just going to keep going all the way around here. Just zoom out a bit and just look and make sure everything looks how I want it. I'm going to move this out just a tiny bit. Okay. I am happy with that. And now I'm going to rename the outer one, the black line. This is my bleed edge. And now at this point, I can delete my scanned copy. I'm going to select all three layers and group them together. And now I'm going to export this as a template. Sorry for the loud noise. I have my windows open today. Now, to export an Affinity Design template, you do want a folder that's called templates, and then upload all your templates into there. And I've already done the actual export of this. So I named it dog tag, and then you would click save. And I've already saved my original one that I did. So I'm going to cancel that, but you would click save. And then once you've done that, you can save your working file too if you want to. I'm going to click no for this. Now we're going to go to File and New and go down to your templates. And this is just kind of how I have mine organized, different templates that I use, and then I have one that's got all my mock-ups inside of it. So here we can see this is my dog tag template that I have created. There's my group of all the three layers. Now, to create a design for this one, I'm going to click on the bleed edge so that I fill the whole entire space. I'm going to come over to my gradient tool and click on gradient tool if it's already on transparency tool. And then if you come up here to the context and type, if you click bitmap, that will allow you to fill your whole shape with anything that you want. I use digital papers because those usually have some good grounds for these. So we'll just pick something here. We'll go with this one. All right. So as you can see, it filled that whole entire space in. You can use these little nodes to increase or decrease how zoomed in it is. You can rotate it. I'm gonna go about there. And then see what else do I want to do? I like to do a little for this so that you can see the text easier. I'm going to do a rectangle and I'm going to fill it in white, turn off my stroke, and I'm going to clip it inside of that bleed edge. Now, I don't want it to be completely white. I do want to see some of the design through it. So I'm going to come up here to my opacity and I'm going to put this down quite a bit. Let's see. Usually around 50% is good, somewhere around there. So now when you put text in there, it'll be a little bit easier to see. So we'll pretend I'm doing one for my dog Pearl. I'm gonna center it. Oh, I didn't center this. There we go. Okay. And let's pick out a fun little font for this. Just gonna decrease it down so I can see it as I'm playing with the fonts. I always struggle so hard with this part because I have so many. Let's see here. Like this one. Make it a little bigger. We can play around with different colors. Let's see if we grab our color picker here. Come in here and try to grab one of these colors and see how it looks. Kind of like that, matching it to the background. And I might add a little bit of a white stroke to it too, just so it pops a little bit more. There, I like that. I'm going to turn off that hole because I don't need that anymore. I think I'm going to shrink this down a little tiny. I'm going to select my letters and my rectangle. And this is in the way. Okay. Oh, maybe not. It looks pretty centered to me. Let's see what else. Maybe on this, I'm going to try adding a little bit of a stroke. Grab a fun brush, maybe. Let's see here. And that work on it too. Let's decrease this down a bit. That's kind of fun. Just to give it a little bit more shape. All right, so there you have it. Now I would just do Control Alt to select all my layers. Then you can go to File and Export. or I have mine programmed to do Control E as my export. Now, when you save it, you do want to save as a PNG. And I like to, oop, I don't have it selected. Select all your layers and then do your export. And then you can select selection only. And it will just export what I've created, not the whole page. Click on export. And wherever you want to save it to, I'll just save this to my desktop. Pearl dog tag. And click save. And then if I wanted to do something on the back, I could do, let's see. Oh no. Oops. I'm lost. So I have to shrink this font down quite a bit. What's going on here? Okay, I'm back. I had a little bit of a technical error there. Real quick, backtracking for just a second. One thing I forgot to do was to actually move this actual line up above my bleed edge so I can see it. And this way I can make sure that my text is all within that line, the important stuff. So now I'm gonna turn the whole and the actual edge off, and then I would go to File and Export. Now let's try to change the back. There we go. Oh no. Now it's working. And if you can see when I shrunk that down that my stroke got bigger because I didn't have scale with object turned on. You know, if you do that, no matter how big or small you make it, it's going to keep that ratio the same. There we go. My move tool, my selection tool. I'm going to align everything. Now I don't like how big of a gap there is between these two lines. I'm going to come over to my character tab. All this stuff is just kind of how I like to have my Affinity Designer laid out. You can move things around and kind of customize it. I just have everything that I use a lot kind of out and easy to access. So here in the character tab is where you can adjust how tall your font is, how wide it is, all different things. So I want to adjust the space between the two lines, which is this one down here. There we go. And come back to my layers. I'm going to turn my actual online outline back on so I can see that I'm in within that. And I am, but I'm a little close. There we go. Now we're centered. And then again, make sure that you turn off any of those red lines there. So I can do the same thing then. I can select everything. I have it set up to do Control E for export. I'm on PNG, selection only, and export. And then we'll do Pearl Dog Tag back. So those are created. I'm not going to save this. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and print them, I would do a new document. I did Control N to bring this screen up. Come to New, I'm going to print on a letter size paper. I always want to make sure that your DPI when you're designing or printing is set to 300 DPI. And then click Create. And now I'm just going to drop those tags in here. Here's our back. And our front. Right. There they are. Now we would just go to File and Print. Get all your print settings how you want them. And click OK. Okay, so that's everything on how to create a template in Affinity Designer for odd-shaped substrates. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. If you have any suggestions for other tutorial videos, you can comment those below, or you can also join my Facebook group, Fika Design Co., where there are other tutorials, questions and answers, a discount code for my digital design Etsy shop, and you can ask recommendations there. Thank you so much for watching.